All right. So it's Brando. We'll have the two-door marks. My player partner D is on special assignment. But today we have a special guest. We have the Intergalactic Soul Brother. We have Mr. PWI, Mr. Panther Style himself, Mr. ASÉ Wrestling, Mr. If you've seen him on YouTube delivering a promo, you know it's the greatest thing in the world. If you've seen him in the ring, if you've seen him throwing up a fist, if you've seen him throw up a beret, if you've seen him unfurl a flag that tells you to be proud and be you, you know who it is, the one and only Darius Lockhart.
I appreciate that, man. Great intro. Thank you very much.
I worked on it all day. I was literally like hyping myself in the mirror, talking to somebody who was a great. You might want to get it right. You might want to get it right.
That means the world to me. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have ASÉ Wrestling is having a homecoming in Charlotte, June 28th, Return of the King. And you and the other Darius Carter, are headed it up one more time.
Yeah.
This time for the ASÉ Men's Championship.
Absolutely.
Before we even get to the match, we have to talk about ASÉ itself. Like, I remember you years ago feeling disenfranchised, feeling dismayed with the entire concept of pro wrestling. And then in 2023, a light bulb went off. It's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own. So what to you was essential in order to found ASÉ?
It's funny you say 2023. It's really 2019 that I had the idea for ASÉ. Myself, Saeed Al-Sabah, was we kind of made up a concept of just, we were seeing so many people like ourselves get burnt out. People, Black performers in this industry who were just being misunderstood. They would get to a certain height, and there was always a person that didn't necessarily look like them or really understand where they're coming from to tell them, oh, well, I don't get it. So then they didn't get the position that they would, more than qualified for as a performer. The audience might get it, but the powers that be don't get it. So we kind of just conceptualized what would a show look like if the powers that be got it, and not only got it, but lived it, lived in it. So, it started with, what does commentary sound like? What would the musical acts we kind of really pulled from things that really inspired us. And as 2020 hit and everyone who was kind of a part of those conversations kind of drifted apart for own reasons. I went on my own journey. I went through a couple injuries, some death in the family, things like that. And there was a point where I was being scouted by, a couple major companies, and their reluctance to kind of put their action where their words were kind of caused me to just say, hey, man, I got a lot going on in my life. I don't really need this. I just want to go away. And after that, I kind of took a silent leave of absence. I didn't know how long I was going to be gone. I thought it was going to be about 2 months. But I just needed more than I realized I did, whether that was from a health reason with some of the injuries that I had gotten, or just my mental, just where I was mentally. I just wasn't happy showing up to work anymore. So it wasn't really until I moved in with a friend in 2022, just because he just needed an extra roommate. It was only supposed to be for a few months. And so I moved in to help him out, and he had never watched wrestling before. So watching him fall in love with it kind of reminded me why I love this, and thought that, I'm a man who always likes to deliver on what he said he was going to do. So I said, you know what, let me go back and make ASÉ. I feel like both myself and everyone else deserves it. Let me just give it a shot and then see what happens. And here we are.
What's nuts about giving it a shot is the concept of pro wrestling. I was telling this to my wife before she really got back into it. I was like, it's really a morality play. It is good versus evil. It is right versus wrong. It is whatever your convictions are. And the thing about you in that ring, and also just outside of the ring, is that you are convicted to a point of, it's about community. It's about uplift. It's about, situations like Vegas, for example. Like, you took the show to the show of shows, Telly, that weekend, and even had KevOnStage, right? Yeah. And then you got a different level of variety of virality, I should say, there. Now, I mean, again, I think wrestling is a variety show, but no, that situation went viral. Like, has the growth of ASÉ even shocked you or amazed you to this point?
I think Not really in some ways. Like in some ways, not at all, right? Like I kind of knew, and I said try it out, but I kind of knew like this is a great idea. This is a great vibe. I think I have good taste, so I know how to present it. You know, I knew that this would be fly, so that people would get and blast their teeth into if they see it. You know what I mean? But in terms of the speed of the growth, maybe there's like so many opportunities now that I won't say we aren't ready for, but they come so fast that I only have so many hands. So a lot of things there's some these amazing opportunities to really create some good stuff, and hopefully, they will come to fruition. But it's like I can only do so much at once, and I don't want to let anything seep through the cracks. So sometimes the that might surprise me of like, damn, oh, y'all want to do that with us already? Like it's year 2, dog. Like I thought y'all wouldn't come around till year 4, but okay, let me find a way to do that. So some of it's that, but in terms of the success and it being liked and people wanting it, it was only a matter of time for someone to try to come and try to do this. I don't want to say the right way, but with the right things in place.
Yeah, I think what's crazy about it is that in just 2 short years, it's literally like you're starting to see like a lot of people finding that space, right? Where Black independent wrestling was like you get people booked on different shows in like different markets here or there, but now there's like full on promotions, right? And I think what's beautiful in that is that there's so much buy-in from the whole community. Like I think people don't see that there is the internet wrestling community, and then there's us. Like we are totally separate, totally different get down. So when it came to people like I want to say like KevOnStage, for example, and like literally his buy-in, so to speak. Like how was that conversation with him? And how did you even like convince people like say a Kazim Fayoume or Chris Lee, for example? Their buy-in, so to speak, is like, okay, we doing something big and I want you to be a part of it.
I mean, those are all 3 very different but very easy conversations. When it comes to KevOnStage, I have to give credit to Lovely Laveau. You talk about people who are notable in the community, people. She's a very loud voice in the Black wrestling fan space. And even though I usually have a thing of like, all right, let's not cross over. Fans can be fans, wrestlers. We need to do our business. Lovely has been really great at relationship building. And she's one of the people who tweeted at KevOnStage, hey, you might like ASÉ Wrestling. Check it out. I saw him in real time, tweet her back, well, what is it? And to leading into when we did ASÉ TV, which is kind of relaunching all of our old material, but in a different serialized hour-long format. First episode, he was in the comments, yo, this is dope, and so I thought I was really cool of him. And one day I saw Lovely tweeting him again, you got to come to Vegas, and he said, I'll be there. People say that, but I saw him say it twice, and so I DM'd him. I said, if you're gonna be there, do you want to do something? And he said, do you want to make my dreams come true? Absolutely, I'll be there. I'll do something with you guys. And it was just the first pitch. I had something in mind for him, and it changed a couple times. Just people kind of fall out, situations change, but he was on board the entire way and was super helpful. And I won't tell you everything about that dynamic, but one day I will give KevOnStage just beautiful flowers. I'm not sure what he wants to be out there, but he did us a lot of solids doing that bit, and I think that was really awesome of him. So it was just an ask. Kazim, I've been following him since I was in high school, and so he's kind of someone I look up to as an orator and as a person who just makes things happen, as someone who works in marketing and entertainment. So he was a guy I kind of always looked up to as a beacon. But I met him maybe in passing a couple times at Wale Manias, and then if not at Wale Mania, I think the WrestleMania 39, we saw each other after party. And it just kind of chopped it up, really understood who each other were. Like he understood, okay, this is Darius, okay. And so when I reached out to him, we traded contact information. It was just, hey, do you want to do commentary? And he was like, hey, man, yeah, easy. And he made it very easy for me as well, too. He did me a bunch of favors with that. So that was awesome. Kazim is just, he sees talent. I think he gets it, and he gets us. So he wants to help us out. Now, Chris Lee, I knew him since before I was the Intergalactic Soul, before I was Revolutionary, before I was any of this, before I was really Darius Lockhart to understand who I was as a performer. We both kind of started out at this place called CWF, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. And, Chris had a career in broadcast before and after wrestling. Obviously, it's skyrocketing up, him going to documentarianship and all those things like that. But he was my first feud in wrestling. Like, there was the first person someone was like, hey, you're going to wrestle Chris? And then we had a beef. And my first, the match that I say that's a good match was with Chris Lee. So our years of just knowing each other and just kind of talking about the business, when I said it to him, he was just like, yeah, that should happen. And it would be dope if it looked like this. And then now we're talking. So it was just really easy to get him on board. And Chris has been on board for day one, day zero, really. He's been since 2019, he's been on the idea.
That's beautiful. Like you mentioned, like, oh, okay, me and Chris, like that's my first, like, okay, that's not, I know what a good match is like, because I'm like, this is good, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's retired since in ring, but he's still itching.
Yeah. he might take a bump. He might take a bump if need be.
But to paint a picture, and I'll make it quick, Chris Lee is kind of like my Dave Free. You know what I mean? He's like my Dave Free. So he gets things done.
So speaking of Dave Free and the whole visualizing of things, I think like wrestlers have a beauty when it comes to like picking out theme songs, right?
Yeah.
Yours with Kaya's Niggas Poem 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like that is some soulful, like, okay, you know some shit about to go down.
Yeah.
Type of music. I was watching back your match with Lee Moriarty, and I was like, okay, Darius coming through, cool. And then I hear "Boot Up" by LMA, and I'm like,
it's great.
That ain't no theme song I would come out to.
Yeah. He's one of a kind. Moriarty is one of a kind. Yeah.
But what drew you to, and what made you rock with KS Niggas Poem 1 and 2? Because that's not been like, that's locked in. That's you now.
Yeah, it is. I knew so I got hurt beginning of 2020. I tore my right pec while wrestling Trisha Dora in the finals of the Pan African Championship. When she first became Pan African champion, I was got she beat to do it. So, but I got injured in that match. And so before, I don't even really remember what I was using. I think maybe I was using Rockabye Baby by Joey Badass and Schoolboy Q.
Yeah.
And I think it was just kind of I just used it for a while without even thinking of anything. And when I came back, when I was like sitting at home in 2020 like everybody else, I'm like, if I'm going to return to wrestling, I need to have like a real different vibe. I need to stand out. I need to be more myself, what says me. But also at the same time, I really wanted the first entrance back to feel sort of like a resurrection, if that makes sense. So it was kind of like, we're rising from the ashes, and that song has a, real niggas never die, and niggas, I should say, real niggas never die. And so it just really kind of, it speaks to, I'm thinking of the word that is, you can't kill it. It's something that just the perseveres. It speaks to the perseverance of my persona and of the plight and of the words and passion that we all share, and we would hope the revolutionary could be that person. So I was just kind of like, it speaks to resolve. So let's do that. And it was between that and one other song that I might come out to one day for the hell of it. But that is like that's my set song now. But the other song would just be like a one-time thing. This one was it came down to those two, and I was like, I got to go Kia. I was obsessed with that album that year. It was great.
Oh yeah. That, again, I think people, when you have certain like themes, right, they become synonymous, right? Like CM Punk has Cult of Personality by Living Color. Like that is him. I don't care like what else he decides. Like you might do Kill Switch Fiber. No, brother, you are Cult of Personality through and through. Randy Savage's Pomp and Circumstance, right? And you as Negas Poem 1 and 2 for me. It is like the dude must say, this dude coming out with these black shades, black trunks. Like I'm coming to, in that old vestige of Stone Cold Steve Austin, like I'm coming to kick your ass or out wrestle you, out brawl you, whatever need be. I can go in and do that. It's
a confidence you gotta rock to the ring with that song. It's a mood changer. So I like mood changers. I feel like I'm a mood changer. So I wanted to fall in line with that.
Yeah. My curiosity with this particular show, because last year's show was kind of a homecoming for Shelton Benjamin, right? Because he had just gotten released by WWE, and you paired him with Jonathan Gresham. Like that was like arguably one of the best technical matches I've ever seen, right? Yeah. So a year later now, you easily was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay it all the way for it in the way somebody's paid it for it for me and Cedric Alexander. Like, so this is the two-parter for me. How full circle is it for ASÉ to bring Cedric Alexander for this show? And also, what has said meant to you?
It's 100% like full circle. When I said, me and Saeed talked about in 2019, and then a group of us, whatever. It's safe to say now, Cedric was a part of that group. Cedric was trying to help me raise money to get this dream off the board. Him and Big Swole. So they had seen this vision from the start too in 2019, and they've been very supportive. In the quiet, just kind of letting the thing. And they'll check in. How's it going? Okay, cool. Like, all right. Well, how's this? Okay, cool. And it started a few dollars, but then as COVID came through, we kind of all went our separate ways, and I just kind of kept raising my own. But it's said having been not only a supporter of the vision of ASÉ from day one, but wanting to, like, even when he was in contract, he wanted to be like, I wonder if NXT will let me come and do the show, because they let Natalya do Bloodsport, let these people. So he was trying to still come down to ASÉ when he was doing NXT. Like, he really wanted to be a part of this. And that was one of the first people. He was like, one of the first thoughts he had. He said when he left, he was like, I get to do ASÉ now. So it's a full circle thing. And him being my first match at Indie Major, my first match period. He was my he was the first, I think, Black local wrestler I met. I think I went to a Ring of Honor show when I was 12 or 13 and saw him wrestle, I think, in his tryout Ring of Honor match. But he spoke to my imagination. His family was there. I saw him in the gym maybe 5, 6, 8 months later. I just started on the high school wrestling team, and I was like, Mom, there's a wrestler here at the local gym. Like, I know that guy. I think I went up to him, and he didn't think he was going to be recognized. He was just fresh. So it was that. Maybe about another 8 months later, I went to do pro wrestling at High Spots, and he was there training. That's where he was trained. We have the same trainer, George South. And he said to me, he recognized me. He was like, "You're that kid who approached me in the gym. You come to PWX shows every now and then. Okay, come here. Let me show you." And from then on, it's kind of been, he's one of the few people I will let big bro me. I will call a big brother. Because some people try to be shady and just, whatever with it. But that's truly my older brother. And, almost after a certain point until he got signed, it seemed like every checkpoint or benchmark in my career, he was there to kind of help me get into that next phase, which is really cool. So this is a full circle thing to see him come back and into the state he helped make hot, because Carolina got hot in the 2010s for a little bit, and Cedric's performance was huge part of that. So to him come back and give back, man, it means everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because doing what he did in the Carolinas, he eventually led to the Cruiserweight Classic, which then led to Please Sign Cedric and his match with Kota Ibushi, which is arguably the best match the CWC gave us.
Yeah, and people talk about that one more than any of the finals. No one talks about the finals.
It's crazy. Nobody talks about Grandmaster Lee versus TJ Perkins, only because Sid versus Ibushi literally happened like right before it, right?
Yeah. It's a match, Grandmaster Lee and everything, but
Oh yeah, it was. But when real recognize real,
recognize
real.
There you go.
So basically, ASÉ, literally, you debuted at the men's championship late last year. Darius Carter currently holds it. The women's championship is now out. Is going through a tournament. And the fact that you've had so many people, so many women come through those curtains and put on.
Yeah.
What does it mean for them now? So okay, now I can be a representative of ASÉ with a title around my waist, because a title in pro wrestling, as we know, is basically like, all right, kid, you get the ball.
Yeah.
How far can you run and get the touchdown?
Yeah. Well, I think what it means to them is honestly up for them to say. But what I can speak to, what I hope it means for them,
that's what I'm speaking to. That's what I'm leaning towards. Yeah.
Just an opportunity and a chance to be to be seen. A lot of sisters in the sport don't get their just due. And if they're just due, a lot of BS comes with it. They got to deal with, shady promoters or, being taken off shows, all this stuff. And I understand that plight. I understand the male side of it, but with the women's side, it's definitely it's intricate. There's different layers of things you have to go through on top of being, already in a box. So I hope this means being seen, opportunity. This will open up the door for a lot, even more women to come into ASÉ. This tournament is going to feature 16 women, actually, and a lot of them are new faces to ASÉ. So that's going to be very exciting. You will see some old familiar ones. Jocelyn's returning, Kiera Hogan's returning for this tournament, and we'll announce kind of the full names soon. But this is it's really cool that I'm able to give opportunity to 16 different Black women on a way to, to crown a championship that's for them, and we'll main event the show that it's crowned on. But I just can't wait for you guys to see the journey, because a lot that's going on into it. So we'll have fun with that one.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it all play out. I mean, you got Faye Jackson back in the ring. Like, that is something that is,
It's true.
That's big.
Every time I ask her, she gives me a big sigh. She goes, okay, for you. But Karen, Faye Jackson is returning to the ring once again. This is the second time she's actually wrestled for us. She kind of works as a sort of a maternal figure in the back with the girls, younger girls. She's always mentoring, agenting matches, stepping on commentary when we need her to, facilitating relationships. She helps us bond a lot with different people too. She's one of those people similar to R-Truth that is just the glue of a locker room. So you get rid of her, a lot of people are going to feel that difference. But she is going to be facing a protege of hers somewhat, Karen Bam Bam Renee, in this first round tournament with Jazz as a special guest referee. Now, she beat Karen the first time, and I think she told Karen that she wants to do it again, but she told Karen she had a lot to learn. And Karen since then has had a little bit of attitude, so I can't wait to see what happens, if Karen has learned anything, if she wants to show Faye what she's learned. But I'm excited to see Faye back in there and see if she's still got some tricks that she ain't taught Karen yet.
Yeah, that card is absolutely stacked. I know we spoke about Seb, but Yaya.
Yeah.
Now, I told you when I went to my first ASÉ show in Charlotte last year, Yaya was the person who literally immediately stood out to me, like made my eyes go big, right? Because a dude that size should not be able to move the way he does in the ring. Like, it makes no... Like, gravity doesn't make sense for him. He does whatever. Aside from him, like, who else are you looking forward to seeing on that card and looking to like just show out for the crowd?
It's June 28th specifically.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to Ugly Gang getting their face back against Demon Time. We kind of saw the formation of Joe Black, Trevor, Aeon, and Noel, who is scary beast. He's been in Japan getting better, which is terrifying to think about. But we saw the formation of those guys in December, taking out Jordan Holt, the Cream Pop Poppy, Rayhan Antaeus, and their friend Zay Vega. I'm excited for Zay Vega to show y'all what he has. I'm excited for Jordan Holt to get his face back. Trevor's been antagonizing him since ASÉ 4. And I'm excited for the Cream Pop Poppy anytime he gets in the ring and shows people that he's more than just the song and a fun time, which he definitely is. Awesome and a hilarious personality. He's a fantastic wrestler too. So I'm excited for that 6-man tag to go down. And it'd be our first no DQ match in ASÉ history. It's going to be absolutely chaotic. So I'm excited for those guys. Anyone else I'm excited for? I'm excited for Diego Hill. Josh C's been saying some interesting things about me online. I don't understand what the heat is. I'm giving him a job here, but I think he thinks I'm in his way or somewhat like that. I'm just doing business. I'm just winning. That's all I have to do. I give him a chance to compete. But seeing what Diego Hill makes of Josh C. See if he can take him on. See if Josh can turn some of this luck around, because he might need some of that. And I love Jocelyn Navarro. I think she's the world. Anytime she can be in a ring with someone who has something to prove, like a vet like Kiera, I'm willing to see Jocelyn rise to the occasion and really submit it. To me, the one thing I wish I had more of here working at ASÉ, creating ASÉ, curating, whatever you want to say, is more time and more shows. I wish Jocelyn was here every month. I just can't get, it's just time and place. And I wish we had her a bunch, but this time it works out. So hopefully if she gets further in the tournament, we'll see a lot more of Jocelyn Navarro. So we'll see.
Yeah. But the main thing outside of said that people are coming for, it's you.
Yeah.
Darius Carter.
Yes, absolutely.
For the men's ASÉ championship. Y'all had y'all very fun interaction during that wild tag match in Vegas. He'll say that you got a little help from KevOnStage.
Some would say.
Just to get that W, just to get that win.
Yeah.
But it's Darius versus Darius one more time.
Third time.
Is third time the charm for you to take that belt? I'm gonna say, what are we expecting going into that?
I think so. It'll be the tiebreaker. My first match back was against Carter back in February 2024, and I got the victory. His next match, against me was the finals of the tournament,
Exactly.
which was honestly a fresh Darius Carter who had cheated his way to the top. On this, he came in through the back door. He didn't have to qualify. He didn't earn the spot. Then he takes Jordan's spot. Screws over already hurt Damian Bingston, attacks Billy before he even gets in the ring, which was disgusting to me. And I still got to get the face back for my friend. And then takes advantage of my injured back. I just wrestled full match against Yaya, full match against this person. So Carter, you've wrestled in really one match, and now you're in the finals against me. He got the victory over Hurt Me, but this time I'm coming in healthy, and this time the it's even. And I'm not going to try to walk in with a strong, angry temperament. I'm going to try to keep my cool so he doesn't get in my head. I think him attacking Billy is enough already in my head. But I think that because every time I think about that, I just really get irritated all over again, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I want to walk into this with a clear head, clear mind, and just wrestle. That's all I've wanted to do this entire time. Create a space where I can wrestle and come to realize my potential, and then break that barrier as well. So I'm just coming in with a clear. I can't say clear mind because, like I said, once again, I'm agitated, but hopefully a clear heart, and as clear as I can possibly go in there and just out wrestle the guy, because that's what I think everyone wants to see me do anyway. Yeah,
I think everyone wants to see you raise that belt at the end of the night.
I think so, and I plan to, bring it back home the right way. And then the job really starts. Carter is a mountain. I will. He's one of the best wrestlers I've seen and been in the ring with. I will acknowledge that. Dirty asshole, but he is a good wrestler. But the job starts there then, because as soon as I beat Carter, then I got Yaya on my back. Then I got maybe Billy on my back. Wherever he's been, maybe Cedric. Am I going to wrestle Cedric again? You know what I mean? Like now he goes here. Khan's on the lurk. Khan's at the show. The job.
Dunkerton might want to be one of the double champ. Yeah.
Me and him might unify the joints. We don't know. Isaiah Broner goes here now. O'Shea Edwards might be back. There's a whole list of people I got to talk to and fight through as soon as I become champion. So the job starts there, and that's what excites me more than anything.
Well, Mr. Darius Lockhart, appreciate you coming through to the 2 marks. Ironically enough, the other mark, it happens to be he's off assignment now. He just got back in. But for the most part, man, I appreciate you coming through. We appreciate you coming through. We appreciate what ASÉ offers to us as fans and also to the overall wrestling community, because I'll say this. Going there in that gym in Charlotte last June, put a battery in my back that eventually led to the start of this podcast.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that.
Like basically when me and D said, hey, we going to Vegas for Mania. Yeah, ASÉ's the first stop. Like we literally got to the hotel, dropped the bags, got in an Uber, went to ASÉ.
That's love. I really do appreciate that. And what a good name to draw from. I was a Two Dope Boys guy too. So, I was a hood nerd. I was a hip hop blogger back in the day. So
same.
I recognize the reference.
Technically am in some ways.
Yeah. You definitely are. Yeah. I guess really more than a blogger. I was just on the sites every day when I was supposed to be doing assignments. I was listening to Overly Dedicated or whatever Wale and Cuddy and Cole drop that Khalifa or Cushion Orange Juice era. Yeah, that was
who ironically enough his Tiny Desk dropped today too.
Yeah,
all Cushion Orange Juice stuff. So I'm like, so, it's crazy. It's I'm all about homages, right? Like Two Boys literally helped me through something in 2009. Ended up starting my own blog in June 2009 is when I started mine. It literally led me to writing for Billboard and Vibe and Pitchfork and all over the place.
It's something about the month of June, huh?
Something about it. Like it's June and August. Like June led me to ASÉ. August led me to my wife and led me to getting married in August and all sorts of other stuff. So
outside of February, those are the two probably most culturally significant months to Black people.
See, her birthday's in February. Don't hype her up. She gonna be a little bit too.
Seriously, we got.
I know.
And then August, people who are in the know is Black August. There's a significant amount of things that happen in August. And of course, you got Juneteenth with June. And maybe like number 4, you got October, because that's the British version of Black History Month. So those are, you're batting pretty good, August and June, man. And your wife in February. It sounds like you got the Trinity right there.
I'm doing a little bit all right. You doing better. I'm doing all right.
I know we're all doing great. We're all doing great. And we're going to continue.
Anyway.
Thank you so much